Hey, I'm Crantonimo, and today we're going to go over 3 applications that allow you to automate how you ensure that your ad spend traffic is quality traffic and you're not paying for bots clicking through to your domains or fraudulent IP addresses. I'm an enterprise level tech lead at a Fortune 50 company. I've worked across Fortune 500 all the way up to Fortune 50, mid to late stage startups, consulting, army, finance, tech, healthcare, many different industries. And I'm using all of that experience to find the best tools to use in order to automate specific and necessary business operations so you can spend time making your customer happy instead of spending time with all the tedious work required to on the back end to ensure success. The first application we're going to look over today is Traffic Guard. This is a really fantastic tool for those that are just starting out and aren't spending too much on their monthly ad spend. The primary reason is that it's really easy to use and very simple, looks very much and works very much like Google Ads. And it utilizes a pricing model where they charge you 2% of your ad spend. So for instance, if you're going to spend $1,000 a month on your ads, they will charge you $20 a month. The big selling point for this application is just how well integrated it is with Google Tags Manager. When I was setting up the application, I was able to log right into my Ads Manager account. It was able to find the projects that I wanted to have scanned directly in this application. And then there was even configuration issues that made it so it wouldn't work right, and it went into Google Ads Manager automatically and fixed those configuration issues so that this would work as needed. The UX is very similar to Google Ads Manager. They have really great basic reports, fraud traffic, track your different campaigns, click report, the IP addresses that are being blocked and excluded. Kind of the nice thing about this one is that you're able to try for free initially and use just the monitor plan to see if this is even a problem. Maybe you sniff out that you're getting a lot of traffic, but there's really minimal conversion. You've tried everything else, like, I wonder if some of these are bots or scanners. So this way you can monitor, get an idea, and then you can upgrade to the Shield where they'll actually start blocking those IP addresses and clicks. And that way you can ensure anytime you're being charged for an advertisement, it is going to be a human being that is not fraudulent, that is being exposed to your product. Some of the negatives about this particular application, they do say on their landing page that you can use meta ads and you could use a custom tag, but I have been unable to find where to do that, and it's primarily going to be Ads Manager driven. See, even in this Properties tab, this is not something I can control from this application. This is something that just reflects the settings that I have in Google Ads Manager. The UX is a little outdated. It's simple. It looks like Google Ads Manager, but 5 years outdated. So it's not as pleasant to use on a daily basis. I kind of have to set up an ad campaign, and then I have to let it run for a while, and then I can start to look at it with real data once I actually have traffic. Some of the other options, they do give you a demo set of data. So you're able to get a really clear idea of how the data will look before you start using it, which is pretty helpful. With this one, the way it does mitigate that negative is that it has that forever free tier. So you can just sit there, have it do your ad spend and have it monitoring. Then you'll have data to work with and it should be okay. This is a really good option, especially if you're starting out with this and you really want to see if this is an actual issue affecting your ad spend. You don't want to have to go in and manually try to figure this stuff out. This really automates being able to see if this is an actual problem. There's not really going to be a point when using this software where you feel like you're spending money and getting nothing back. ClickCease. They have a free trial period. It very simply works with Google, Meta, and Microsoft ad platforms. They have a really easy way for me to set this up. Check has a full suite of tools available. So as you start to use this particular tool and you feel like you have more specific needs when it comes to your website, your analytics, everything like that, they have tooling for security compliance, all like security to keep you protected from attackers, really good analytics tools, metrics tools, and customer acquisition tools. It is an extremely well-designed UX, so it is very pleasant to use. It's very pleasant to see. Everything makes complete and total sense. I don't feel overwhelmed by the platform and the data that I'm seeing. It has a decent help center. They have live chat, which is great. You can schedule the call, email support, and then some pretty good documentation here. One really other great feature is that they have a really easy way to use any of those tag managers. You can very simply use WordPress, which is huge. And then if you have a custom application that you have something built yourself, you can direct install in a much simpler way than the previous example. So the negatives. This application is fairly pricey. It starts at $100 a month. A really good, and it only gives you a 7-day free trial. So there is a situation where if you don't know this is a problem, 7 days is it's gonna be pretty hard to get meaningful feedback on whether or not this is going to provide value to you. So there is a situation where you spend $100 and you feel like you get no value back. A really good trick that I've been using is that you must put down your credit card, which is another negative, in order to get the free trial. But I use my Cash App card with no overdraw protection. So that way, even if I do forget, it'll just decline and they won't get any money from me. For $100 a month, you're getting 5,000 instances of traffic. As says here, that includes when somebody visits your webpage for the first time and then clicks a different link internally in your webpage. If 500 people click 5 links each, you've already used half your quota for the month. So this gets pretty expensive pretty quick. The reason you would want to use this one over something like Traffic Guard is you already know that fraud traffic is a problem that you have. You don't want to manually try to deal with it. You're using a fairly complex system for advertising and e-commerce and things like that, or maybe you're using WordPress and you want an easy way that is really robust, really nice to use to be able to manage this part of your business. That's super automated, but you're going to pay for it. Your ad spend is over $15,000 a month. You'll end up probably getting a little bit better value out of it than some of the other options. If you're using things like WordPress or you have custom apps or anything like that, and you want to have that level of simplicity because things have been streamlined for these different use cases, then this is definitely worth using. I love this. They have a interactive demo right on their landing page. I don't need to log in or anything, and I can see exactly what kinds of things I can expect from the platform when I sign up. I could download tables and reports. I have a built-in AI assistant, which is extremely cool. None of the other ones have a built-in AI assistant, and this is really helpful for help or if I want to get some sort of information about my data without having to dig through a bunch of reports. I have very simple ways of being able to see my different advertising platforms, so I can actually have all of these running at the same time. And I can see really useful reports on what is good traffic, suspicious, or legitimate traffic, and where I'm getting my traffic from. Microsoft ads, TikTok ads. You could set up alerts when there's fraud, which is incredibly helpful. It adds more automation, so you don't even have to come back and check this all the time if you don't want to. You can have it alert you when it actually makes sense for you to come over here and take a look. Or if something is maybe just like really goes wrong, you're like, oh, I'm getting a lot of fake traffic. 10,000 monthly scans, that's instances of traffic. So anytime somebody clicks on one of your links from your ads, then that is considered a scan. One user, only detection for this $60. That's kind of a downside a little bit, is that with the other ones, when you buy their package, it comes with detection and prevention. If we look at Traffic Guard, you're getting the detection for free, but the prevention, whenever you pay for it, you're getting that prevention. I can get a free trial for 7 days on this, not even have to put my credit card and see if it's useful. The bad side is that 7 days is not a very meaningful time frame. The person that's going to use this again is the person that already knows that they're having fraud traffic and they're spending their ad spend is being drained by fraud traffic, With that $60 per month and only a 7-day trial, you're not getting really a meaningful time frame to figure out if this is a problem you have and you need an automated solution. If you already know it's a problem you have and you have many different ad providers, you want really solid analytics and benchmarks and automated alerts for when you need to really clue in and you want something extremely robust, this is a great value. If you know you have a problem and you want something that has really streamlined ways to get sort of the basics set up, or you have some custom things when it comes to like a custom application or a storefront, or you want to use WordPress especially, ClickCease is going to be probably a better option. It doesn't have any of the alerting, so that's a little bit less automation happening for you, but it does do this blocking, so it really helps you to get the most out of your ad spend. If you don't know if this is a problem for you, or you're just starting and your ad spend is below, especially below $5,000 a month, but below $10,000 a month at most, then Traffic Guard is probably going to be your best bet, because you can, for $0 a month, you can get that $2,500 in ad spend so that you can see if this is something that's happening. And then if it is, then you could upgrade and just do percentage-based payment, which is really helpful if you're not spending a ton on your ad spend. I hope this video helps you automate the process of ensuring that you are not wasting your ad spend and you are getting the most bang for your buck when you spend on Google ads or social media ads, and ensuring there's no fraud happening in the whole situation.